Hey guys, and welcome to the first in a series of videos I'm going to be doing for prehab and rehab, focusing on mobility and flexibility. This one specifically for those of you who run on the regular. Now I want you to get onto your mats into all fours and sink your bum back over your heels into a child's pose. Now throughout this routine, I want you to keep your breath nice and slow, nice and conscious, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And in this position, really breathing into the space in your lower back. And then slowly bringing it up, stepping your feet back into a downward dog. And feeling the nice stretch across your hamstrings. Then we're going to bring your bum down towards the floor. And then push through your hands and through your heels. Really feeling your hamstrings release and back down. We're going to go for one last raise. Hold it there. And then as you come down, you're going to step your right foot outside your right hand. Lean into it, ground your back knee and lift your chest. You're going to push your knee out with your right elbow, just open up that hip. Then after doing so, pressing through that front heel, straightening that leg as much as you can, and then slowly moving backwards and forth, pressing through that front heel. Really feeling the stretch in your hamstring here. And then on the third time, you're going to lift your back knee and rotate your right arm upwards and breathe into the space in your lower back. And after a few seconds, you're going to come back down into your high plank, release any tension with a down dog, and we're going to go exactly the same on the other side. So pressing your knee out with your left elbow, opening up that hip and then pushing through that front heel. Really nice and slowly, keeping your breathing nice and regular, nice and slow, nice and conscious. And then on that third one, we're going to rotate up with your arm, releasing that upper back. Getting a nice stretch across your spine, and then you're going to step your foot back into a down dog and just breathe there. From here, you're going to lift your right leg and bring it up to your left elbow and slowly rotate your foot inwards, and then place your back knee down and stretch into it. Walk your hands forward and sink your head down as you feel the stretch across your glute. Then lift it back up, lift your chests, tuck your toes under, and then come back to your down dog and repeat exactly the same on the other side. So bringing your right leg up to your left elbow, kicking back and rotating your leg inwards, lifting your chest. Then we're going to slowly walk your hands forward and breathe into the space in the side of your hips. From this position, you're going to walk your hands back up and lift your chest and feel the stretch across your hip flexor. Keep that breathing nice and regular, really focusing on the breath. And when you're ready, stepping your foot back, swiveling round onto your back into a seated position. So your bum is going to be on the floor. You're going to plant your heels and slide your knees to one side, keeping your chest up, feeling the stretch across your hips. And you're slowly going to bring it to the other side and feel parts of the inside of the hips open up as you slowly move from side to side. Only go as far as is comfortable, and if you can't get too far to one side, then just take your feet slightly wider, keep those heels grounded, and just swing your legs from side to side. Open up those hips. Now what we're going to do is you're going to sit up and cross your right leg over your left leg, and then with your right elbow press on the inside of your knee and rotate away. Should feel the release in your lower back and a nice stretch across your upper back as well. And then you're gonna bring that right leg, pressing your foot on the inside of your left thigh, and reach forward to your toes if you can. If you can't reach all the way to your toes, just slide your hands down your calf and hold it there. Then when you come back up, we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So crossing your left leg over your right leg and pushing very gently with your left arm on the inside of that knee. And when you're ready, placing the palm of your left foot on your right leg and reaching forward, remembering that you can just slide your hands down your calf as far as is comfortable to feel the stretch. And when you're ready, coming up back into a seated position, holding your feet together, squeezing your arms on the inside of your thighs into the lotus. And when we're in this position, it's really important to keep your breathing and just gently looking over either shoulder. Just release the tension in your traps and your neck and your upper back. And then slowly bring it up into a stand. You're going to set your feet nice and wide. And you're going to go drop down into a sumo squat. You're going to push your knees out with your elbows and have a little wiggle. Pushing your bum up and releasing those hamstrings. As we do so, gently placing your hands on the floor and just wiggle your feet out wide and slowly bring it over to one side. You don't have to go all the way to your toes. If you just walk it out on the floor in front of you, or even just bending, sliding your hands down your hips either side. Just feeling the release down the back of your legs, through your hips, all the way down to your toes. Then you're going to wiggle your feet back into your sumo squat, and back up into a stand. You're going to hold it there, wiggle out any tension, push those hips up and back down. And we're going to go with those hips up again and back down. Should be getting deeper each time as those muscles begin to get warm. And then we're slowly going to bring it down into a seated position. You're going to lie sunny side up, and we're going to go into an absolute beast of a pose called the happy baby. Grabbing the inside of your feet on your back, opening up your hips and just pulling your legs out with your hands. And give it a little wiggle, release any tension that's still there. And then slowly bringing your feet down, touching the palms of your feet together and bringing them as close to your hips as you can. This might not be very far, but you got to come as far for you. And then you're going to bring one hand over to the other. Not going all the way to the other hand, just getting a little rotation in your torso. Just helping keeping that spine nice and mobile. It's not a competition, peeps. It's all about the stretch. It's all about your individual body. You're not getting any medals for going any further. It's just all about keeping that breath constant and doing what works for you. And then you're You're going to straighten your legs and bring your right leg up and across your body, keeping it as straight as possible. Keeping your hands spread out on the floor and your chest up. Get a real nice stretch across the lumbar. Breathe in this position and then bring your leg up and slowly hug your knee into your chest, keeping your bum on the floor, your lower back on the floor, and just breathe into the space. Then slowly wrapping your hands around that hamstring, straightening your leg and pointing your toes. Bring it as far up as is comfortable for you. Just give your toes a little wiggle, bring it back and forth, pointing them away from your body and then bringing them back to the body. Just getting that calf nice and mobile. Then we're going to finish off, we're going to pretzel the ting, crossing your right leg over your left, pushing your right foot against that left knee, pulling on that left hamstring, and feeling the release across the side of your right hip. And now we're going to repeat those 3 stretches, exactly the same process on the other side. So leg up, nice and straight, keeping your chest up, and feeling the release across your hips. Really important to breathe into that space that you feel the stretch. 3 in, 3 out. And then slowly bring your knee up to your chest, hugging it in. Keeping your lower back on the floor, extending that resting leg. Feeling the stretch in your quad, your glutes. Oh mate, that is stunning. Then wrapping your hands around that hamstring, pulling it towards you as far as is comfortable, giving your toes a little bit of a wiggle, bringing them towards your body and then pointing them away, bringing them back to the body, and then slowly bringing that left foot down, pressing it against the right knee, up into the pretzel. Beautiful. Keep holding it there, just breathe into that space in your hips. Keep that breath nice and regular, and then slowly bring your legs down, back up into a seated position, pressing your feet against one another, up into the lotus. And you're slowly going to walk your hands forward. Don't necessarily have to ground your hands. Just reach them forward and then slowly bring them back up into a bridge and reaching over with your right arm. And then reaching over with your left into some marram grass. Just keep it going. So back up into that bridge, reaching over with your right arm. And then reaching back over with your left arm. Nice and easy, really controlling the movement. And then bringing it back down. Sunny side up, feet against a wall, and just open up your hips. Slowly press your knees out with your hands and breathe. Then you're going to walk your feet up the wall, push your knees downwards. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Press your lower back into the floor and breathe. And then you're slowly going to bring your feet down. And we're going to go right back to basics into the child's pose. And take a bit of time just to think and breathe into that space, the bottom of your spine. Feel the muscles release in your legs and your bum. And breathe. And whenever you're ready, bring it forward, keeping your hips on the floor, pressing up into a cobra. However is comfortable for you. And from that position, driving your hips up, back towards the wall into a down dog. And breathe in this position. And that, my friends, is where we shall leave things for today. If you need to hold any particular stretch because of a point of particular tension, then be my guest. Aim to do this before and after a run, even on non-running days. And other than that, keep it spicy, peeps.